Metallica.film is going to have the location nearest you, and you'll need that because I get you a pair of preview passes here to be among the first to experience 72 seasons in its entirety. So good luck. Caller 10, these are yours. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Voice call received.
Put this on the air, dumbass. You think you know it all? You're just nothing but a piece of shit. Talk about dumb shit that you don't have a clue about.
Another satisfied customer of the Alan Cox Show.
I hate it. This show sucks.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Still sending people to that Metallica Detroit show. They're doing two-nighters in every city they play. They're doing football stadiums. They're going to play Comerica Park, I think, or Ford Field, one of the two. In Ford Field in Detroit, where the Lions play. You can go to WMMS.com, hit the contest page, and try to get that trip. 2 separate sets each night. No repeats. Different opening acts each night. And we're also sending people to that Power Trip show, which is going to happen out in the Coachella Valley this fall. Power Trip is kind of an old school rock and roll show. And we have an all-access pass trip for you. It's Ozzy. It's Metallica. It's, God, who else? AC/DC is on Power Trip. So for either one of those shows, go to WMMS.com and hit the contest page. And you can try to get in there. If you're watching the show at AlanCoxShow.com, thank you so much to Getty Shikiti for helping. I had to be careful with that one. Getty Shikiti for helping out in the video department back there today. We'll get to the Bill Squire Friday Get Down a little bit later on. That's how we officially get the weekend underway around these parts. Guardians are shut out for the season opener in Seattle yesterday. They'll get 2 of 4 in that series tonight. 10-10 here on WMMS is your first pitch. Your Cavaliers will be heard on WTAM 1100. They are here in town tonight to play the Knicks at 7:30. So that Cavs Live will get going 30 minutes prior over on TAM. And we're down to the last few games of the regular season. Knicks tonight, Pacers Sunday, back-to-back in Orlando against the Magic, and then they end here at home a week from Sunday against the Hornets. So last few games, and then we'll have that playoff information for you about when and where the Cavs are going to be doing what. Sacramento Kings are in the postseason. They had the longest postseason drought of any U.S. major professional sports team. 16 years. No postseason action from the Sacramento Kings. But they're in the playoffs now. So they're very happy about that out in Sacramento. Another reason to enjoy being in Sacramento, I guess, is them being in the postseason.
Good for them. It's been a long time.
I've never met anybody outside of California who's like, oh, my team, Sacramento Kings.
It's one of those teams that they do have a rabid fan base within the city, but I mean, it's just been so hard to be a fan for so long.
Right.
That they're finally getting excited about it again.
Well, plenty
Mike
to be.
Brown, you know, he's such a good coach.
Oh, right. I forget he's their guy.
Yeah.
And they, who are their starting 5? Who's on the Sacramento Kings?
DeMontis Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron?
De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
Who else do they got? Those are the 2 that I really know.
Keegan Murray.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
No.
I'm
they
looking.
don't get a lot of national games.
Yeah, okay. DeMontis Sabonis I've heard of.
Mm-hmm. Because they got him in a trade with.
Matthew Dellavedova.
He's not a starter, though.
No, but he's on the team. I'm just looking for people on the team that I know. Chimizi Metu. All right. Alex Len. Well, anyway. Sacramento Kings break their 16-year stretch of nothing in the postseason. So congratulations to them on doing that. And If you're a fan, there it is. If you've been watching the news, specifically yesterday, it might occur to you that our long national nightmare may be coming to an end. It seems as if the wheels of justice are still turning in this country, albeit slowly, and that actions still have consequences, even for the most powerful people in this country. Of course, I'm talking about Gwyneth Paltrow winning her case against the guy who was suing her for a ski resort accident 7 years ago. Why is this just happening now? A guy named Terry Sanderson, who was a retired optometrist. He said he was blind in one eye, so I don't know how good of an optometrist he was, but said that Gwyneth Paltrow crashed into him on a ski slope in Utah in 2016. 7 years ago, and this just now was going to trial. But she ended up winning her case. I think this guy's own family said that he wasn't really a trustworthy dude or something. I don't know if they called his family up to be witnesses or whatever, but Gwyneth Paltrow, because she's famous, and people love seeing famous people in a court of law, and there's a lot of people who don't really care for Gwyneth Paltrow. She's kind of like the embodiment of rich, out-of-touch, liberal white privilege to a lot of people. You know, she's selling vagina candles and all this kind of crap. But she seems like a nice enough person. I mean, it's not, you know, she grew up, her parents were Hollywood royalty. She's been in showbiz her whole life. You know,
Who are her parents?
Bruce Paltrow and Blythe Danner are her parents. Okay. And again, I don't know that, you know, if that's been your life, then that's your life. You kind of won the lottery there. So she won her trial. The jury, she was only asking for $1, plus her legal fees to be paid, because she said that this was a ransom lawsuit. The guy said that she slammed into him, and she said that they each said that the other one was the higher skier, which obviously that would make you the person that slammed into the other person. So they each said the other person was at fault, and the jury found that he was at fault. Her attorney saying that Gwyneth had been pounded like a punching bag throughout the trial, and he's not entitled to be rewarded for hurting her. She was on a ski vacation with her kids and her then-boyfriend, now husband, and that she, you know, is somewhat experienced of a skier, but that this optometrist was a very experienced skier, and the two of them collided. He said that she slammed into him. She said it was the other way around. One of the headlines during this trial that made everybody laugh was Gwyneth Paltrow saying that it cut her vacation short and she was forced to go in instead of skiing and get a massage. And again, that's, you know, that's kind of plucking a headline out of. But her point with her lawyers was, I'm not going to pay this guy to settle because he's trying to get some money out of me.
Well, good for her.
And she just asked for $1, and on her way out of the courtroom, she leaned over and said, I wish you well to the guy. And, of course, people are already memeing that.
Well, also, her look for the trial was very Dahmer-esque.
Well, she had these big oversized glasses on, and she looked very kind of, you know, but you got to sit there in court for however long. I mean, again, I can't believe that a trial like this, I don't know how long I think it went for a couple of weeks, but the incident was 7 years ago. So I guess I'm confused as to why this is all happening now, but the jury found in her favor.
The jury reached a verdict.
Was Gwyneth Paltrow at fault? No. Was Terry Sanderson at fault? Yes. Did Terry Sanderson's fault cause Gwyneth Paltrow's harm? Yes. What % of the fault do you assign to Terry Sanderson? 100%. Damages. What amount fairly compensates Gwyneth Paltrow for economic damages? $1.
$1. Like the brothers in Trading Places. $1. So she won her lawsuit there. There was No Gwindictment, just Gwinnocence there in the court of law. What's that?
Gwustis
has been served. She said that Terry Sanderson slammed into her, and the jury found that she was correct. Oh. He accused the resort of a cover-up to protect her, a famous wealthy client. But he was there too. I mean, he's probably a rich dude. Maybe not Gwyneth Paltrow rich, but I mean, you know. Anyway, our long national nightmare is over for people who are glued. I don't even know if this was being televised, but people who are being glued.
People talking about it. I think a lot of people were into it.
Yeah. You know, and you have one of these. I've obviously never been in any kind of litigation, but this is one of those cases where when you get up there, you have to act like you're really hurt. Like, to this day, I can't remember things, and my eyesight is this, and she slammed into me. He wanted $3 million. Gwyneth Paltrow just wanted $1 million. She said, this is a ransom case. I'm not going to pay a guy for trying to get money out of me. He doesn't tell his doctors that he's flying all over the world and he's biking and he's the poster boy for fitness at age 75. So that worked against him, too. Oops. Her collision cost her half a day of skiing, and that's when everybody started trolling her that she had to go back inside and get a massage. I mean, her bill that day at the resort, they said, was $9,000. So if you're spending that kind of, and again, you're there with your kids. You're trying to have a good time. $9,000 at this ski resort in Utah. And again, on her way out, she wished him well. She said, I feel very sorry for him because it seems like he's had a difficult life, but I didn't cause this accident, so I can't be at fault for anything. And the jury said that the guy seemed much more evasive in his testimony. He wasn't able to give direct answers and things like that. So I think, you know, there's a lot of people who probably rightly assume that a celebrity, you know, would settle just to be done with it. And maybe that's what he was counting on. But he didn't count on Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, her kids are teenagers now. Her kids with Chris Martin. They're not little kids anymore.
Yeah, because it's been 7 years.
7 years. That's right. He originally sued her in 2019 for $3 million. And I guess it just dragged on, or I don't know what. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. You're always welcome to leave us voicemails there if you like. It is 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan. I'm just calling hoping you can do me a favor. I know when people ask you to stop doing something, it just makes you do it more. So I'm not expecting a positive outcome from this call, but I figured I'd give it a try anyway. I'm a podcast listener, so I'm a little behind, and the number could be higher than this by now. But so far, there have been 4 Jenna voicemails you've played with the R word in them. And I'm just wondering why you're choosing those ones to play, Alan. You've said that she leaves so many voicemails. You've got tons to choose from. And so far, you've played 4 of those that have the R word in them. And I'm just hoping that maybe you'll reconsider and stop playing the calls where she says the R word. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In the words of Bill Squire, Alan, do better. I don't know why you're choosing to play those ones. Thanks. Love the show.
Is the R word her going, "Arr"? Is that the R word?
No, I don't think that's the R word he's talking
The
about.
R word? Is that what he's talking about? I see. No, of course he means when Jenna calls herself a retard. By the way, just because Jenna leaves a lot of voicemails does not mean that I have a lot to choose from. It's a quantity versus quality issue. It's why I don't play her every day. She leaves me a lot of voicemails, but why can't Jim leave me alone isn't a compelling voicemail. So, yes, she leaves me a lot. But she calls herself a retard. Listen, I'm with you. I don't like that word either. It's gross. But I'm not. Why am I going to censor her when she leaves me? That she can call herself whatever she wants. She's called us live on a number of occasions and said that. I don't dump her.
Yeah, not recently.
I wish I was queer. I don't. Why am I going to? She's living her truth, man. She can call herself whatever she wants. So, you're right. A lot of the voicemails she leaves me are this, her growling. Right. That's not quality, it's quantity. So, tell her, don't tell me. What'd you say, Cody?
I miss her. She hasn't called live in a while.
She leaves a lot of voicemails.
Yeah, she hasn't called live.
So it's not me specifically playing those. I'm just looking for wheat among the chaff. And it's not up to me to tell her what to say. I wouldn't tell anybody what to say. Did you see the Poundcake? I thought of you. Did you see the story about the OnlyFans judge?
What?
They're
No.
calling for his disbarment.
I just talked about this in my podcast. But go ahead.
I thought you hadn't seen it.
No, I'm talking about situations like this in my podcast. I'm assuming, I don't know, I did not hear the story, but I'm guessing there's a judge that ended up having an OnlyFans.
Yeah, this is a city judge in New York, a guy named Gregory Locke, who's 33, charges fans $12 a month on OnlyFans, opened an account in November 2020, and they found out that he had been moonlighting, I guess. I didn't realize this is something that could get you disbarred.
What's moonlighting?
Well, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd were really kind of night and day, and moonlighting is like a side hustle.
Oh. I thought that was like a sexual term. I was like, what's moonlighting?
It's when he shows cheeks.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he shows his butt cheeks. In the
No,
light.
he apparently has another X-rated account on Just for Fans.
Yep,
which he charges $10 a month. But I guess I didn't realize. I thought you had to do something illegal to get disbarred. I'm sure the lawyers in our audience can probably get me hip to this, but I don't know if they're saying that it's a moral thing. I don't know
Might be
what.
a conflict, but this is.
But it's not illegal to be on OnlyFans.
No,
right?
but it might.
And if it doesn't affect your ability to practice law,
it might be a conflict of interest, and it might mess with your judgment, I guess. But this is what I was talking about in my podcast because Black China changed her name to Angela White. She got saved. She stopped her OnlyFans, and I was saying, can you? The saying is like you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, or you can't, outlive your thought. Once a thought, always a thought. I don't believe that. I said there's going to come a day, just like when tattoos were frowned upon, saying like, oh, well, if you have tattoos, you're not going to be able to get a decent job. I'm like, my bosses now have tattoos, so that's not a thing.
but it's not a thing. There's still a stigma to that. We were talking about this before, and all these tattoo people hit me up. There is. Not as much, but there still is. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, still.
All the tattoo people hit me up and they're like, there still is, and you know it. If you're covered in tattoos, you know that.
Okay, well, the stigma's not winning. I'm not even
less
saying,
so, but there still is.
Maybe covered in tattoos, there might be a stigma, but if you have a tattoo, it's not frowned upon anymore. And
no, it depends on where it is. If it's on your wrist, true. Nobody cares. If you have full neck tattoos and you're trying, I'm telling you that's still a thing.
Well, I'm just saying,
people will tell you it's still a thing.
Okay. Well,
let me show you this guy though. We're kind of getting off. Here's the judge.
Ooh.
There's a couple of his thirst trap pics there on OnlyFans. Why cover that up with a robe?
Jesus Christ! I was subscribed to his OnlyFans. He's a judge. He hit me with his gavel. What the hell?
So his bio says, white-collar professional by day, very unprofessional by night. Always raw, always slutty, is what he said. This guy's a judge.
Yes.
I love it.
He makes poor judgment. Ooh.
Well, it's not, though. It's not illegal. I don't get this. It must be an ethics thing. I don't know what. He had dozens of images and videos, hardcore pornography, orgies, and, oh, God, instances of him drinking the contents of what appear to be used condoms.
So he's gay.
You think?
He didn't have to be gay.
Here's his. The guy's on LinkedIn, by the way. Here's his LinkedIn pic. That's him on LinkedIn.
Yes, sir.
And he's a city judge in New York, and they're talking about disbarring him.
Your Honor, they're jealous. They are jealous.
There's haters.
They are jealous.
And by the way, the guy was like a judge. Like his cases were like parking tickets.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't understand it. I think it's like it must be like an embarrassment for the city or something. But I'm telling you,
he can lose election. I mean,
but
he has to be elected.
But no, not for something like this. You can be appointed. I think nobody's running for parking judge.
Well, he should not be disbarred. But if they don't like it, they can kick you out for whatever they want. So if it's an ethics thing, then
One of his videos, he said, I was never going to focus on work if I didn't let this out before he started whacking off on camera.
ooh, I'm gonna. What's his at? I'm gonna at him.
I find him. His name's Gregory Locke.
I haven't subscribed to an OnlyFans in a minute, and I was looking for my next, victim. Like I wanted to subscribe to someone, but I don't want to waste my $9.99. I want it to be good.
Somebody on Twitter hit him up. Besides being full-time internet hoes, what are y'all's jobs? And he responded, I'm a judge.
So
on
he
a
blew up his
Twitter
own spot?
Yeah, on a
See?
Twitter account, he said, I'm a judge.
Maybe he wants to get fired so then he could sue and make a big deal about it. But
So he was kind of drawing attention to himself on Twitter, which I would think you'd want to keep a bit of a lower profile. But that just tells me, look, this guy figured if I'm going to make more doing OnlyFans than being a judge.
Right.
But you don't just wake up from law school and become a judge. You know,
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And you think that, I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of disillusionment in that too.
But this was
In the law profession. There's got to be nonstop disillusionment.
This was my point just with the podcast, just really quick, and then I know you want to get to your point, but I was just saying there's going to come a point when the stigma of having an OnlyFans will go away because there's going to be someone in a high-ranking position, a high-profile job that has one, and they're like, oh, well, it's no big deal. Or they get hired and they find out years before, like, to pay for tuition.
I know, but that's still a long ways away where there's going to be, when we're just going to take it like as written. OnlyFans isn't that old. So that whole zero stigma, that's a long way away.
I'm just saying you can live it down. Like if this dude ended up stopping, like he would not be out of work. He wouldn't be out of work forever.
Or
like,
just be cool about it. Like, man, why murder your side hustle? Just be cool about it. You don't have to have your face. You don't have to, like Poundcake says, neck down, homie.
Yeah, but a lot of people
Neck
want
down.
the face. They want to see the
know.
face.
I can't even do neck down. I can't do neck down. I have tattoos.
See? Tattoos are already screwing you.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, that was something I just looked at that. I'm like, if I do anything nude, I'm just going to end up being a porn star because I can't lie about it. I can't say it's not me. I have tattoos. I have moles.
Actor.
Don't know my voice.
Porn participant.
Yeah.
He was, the judge was fired for, quote, unprofessional behavior.
Ooh, his OnlyFans going to be fired.
Well, I'm going to take a break and you can get all over that then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 35192. Want to send a text for anything else? Alan Cox Show.